Hello and welcome to the Full Force Weekly, proudly brought to you by Battle Action Force, the Treasury Editions. I am your host, Christopher McLeod AKA Diagnostic 80. In this episode, I bring you all the news from the past week in the world of G.I. Joe. So what is it, me? It's the Full Force Weekly. Hello everybody, how are you doing on this Saturday, March the 7th? I've gone like 1 minute early today just because I was getting antsy and I'm like, let's just do this. Why is it people don't want to wait, you know? Let's just get on with it. Get on with it. Anyway, hope you're all doing really well. Hope you're having a good Saturday already, or whatever day it is at the moment in the world that you're in. And yes, I hope you've had a good weekend so far. I hope it was a good week. I did see you guys probably about 30 times, didn't I? I can't remember what we did this week. I'll probably be going over it, won't I? Bit by bit of what happened this week, because that's what the weekly is, surely. W has asked if there's any 118 news. That's usually a higher remark, isn't it? Like it's usually any higher news but we haven't had higher for ages. So I wonder if we're due, aren't we, for a higher glut of like back-to-back reveals for like the next 6 weeks or whatever. In any case, no higher news. But in terms of 118, yes, we're talking Super 7 Reaction Plus. We're talking Softball from Maine to San Diego, Yeti, and the Zargonaut from Skeletron. We'll be talking about that as well. Lots of stuff to get into, to be fair. Loads of classified stuff as well. Excuse me. Lots of classified news this week. Why did I eat before coming on here? Cheers. Got a cup of tea. Who wants to hear what my pretentious tea is? Anyone? I'm rocking a ginger and peach. Yeah. Is it black tea? I think it's black tea. With a dash of almond milk and a spot of honey. Could it get any more pretentious up in here? I don't know. I'm not going to try. But it's delicious, by the way. Absolutely delicious. Cheers. I've gone mad on it, this ginger and peach. It's so good. Anyway, enough of that ridiculousness. Should we get into the news? We'll start with the comics, because we've got comics news as well, like, as always. Anywho, yes, comics news. Skybound updates in general. Of course, we're talking Compendium V2 updates. Okay, they've been posting those cutesy little files. You know, we've had Duke, not those files. We've had Duke and the Baroness, so we'll be talking about them now. Yeah, just basically as they continue to promote to the Kickstarter for their version 2 or volume 2 compendium set. So like I said before, and we won't go into too many details here because obviously we've gone over this so many times, sort of like the Renegade Game Studios Heroscape bios, isn't it, at this stage? But obviously we're going to be getting a Kickstarter in March this month for this particular compendium set. Now, it's going to be both 1 and 2 on Kickstarter, which is crazy pants. So if you missed out on the first compendium Kickstarter, then you'll have an opportunity to get it here, along with the second one, which obviously contains all of the IDW run of, you know, whatever it's called, the G.I. Joe the comic, not cartoon. So yes, and they've obviously posted Duke and the Baroness here as kind of little, you know, spotlights. So our first spotlight of the week is our incomparable leader, Duke, who made his debut in G.I. Joe, A Real American Hero 22. Do you know, I never really thought about that, but yeah, it was 22, wasn't it? Like, it kind of, when you get to a certain point with G.I. Joe, and you've been collecting it for years and consuming the media and enjoying it in general, then you sort of get this situation where you forget that there were certain characters that were not part of the original sort of, you know, inception, and sort of like came a bit later, Kitty said. Duke being one of them. And it's funny because Duke is so synonymous with the brand at, 118, now 112, 12-inch, all that stuff. He's always been a major player, always in the kind of forefront of, comics, cartoons, whatever. He's always involved. And it's interesting that he didn't show up until a little bit later on in the whole process. But anyway, yeah. Cheers. Matt says, my favorite spiced tea isn't being made anymore. Oh, that sucks. I'm drinking turmeric and cinnamon tea with honey. That sounds amazing. So we're one of a kind there, aren't we, mate? We're definitely of that sort of tea variety. Yeah, Duke is a poster boy, isn't he? And was and continues to be so for the brand. And of course, we'll be talking about Duke a little bit later on as well. Baroness as well. She was also shared by the Kickstarter, by Skybound. So she is everybody's favorite elite Cobra operative. Made her debut in the first issue, of course. We couldn't really forget that, could we? So yeah, and technically she made her first appearance in that issue 1, but she wasn't wearing the black, was she? She was wearing the blue and yellow. Blue and yellow, blue in. It's not the song. That's not a song. It's not the lyrics. Cheers. Needs clove spice to tea, says the figure 6-pack. Earl Grey is great, says Wilfredo. Everyone on the tea. A spot of honey takes it over the top, says Droz. Yeah, it does, doesn't it? Nice choice, though, says Jamie Lynn. So yeah, not everyone's upset with my tea drinking, thankfully. Yeah, we're talking Kendra Fee's grotesquely swollen jaw. Wade Buggs running with the law. Or was it Steve Sachs running with the law? I can't remember which one had the running with the law. We're talking Homer, Ozzy and the Straw. Southern sweet tea only here, says Jedi Ben. Interesting. I like all these ideas, though. You're just giving me tea ideas. Anyway, let's spill the tea. Right, let's move along. So that is the Kickstarter coming soon from Skybound, of course. They've already one hugely successful Compendium Volume 1 Kickstarter under their belt, and now it's a 1 + 2 = money. There you go. Now, Silent Mission's got a preview as well, which is kind of cool. So speaking of the Baroness, nice segue that I didn't really utilize properly. Yes, Skybound have posted their first issue of Silent Mission's preview. So we've got the cover here, which is very cool. The cover is by, I forget off the top of my head, Joel Jones. And we'll be obviously looking at that and all the blurb later. But we've had a number of kind of, obviously it's a silent issue, so there won't be any text, there won't be any narrative. Well, there won't be any word balloons. It will just be a narrative run by visuals only. You know what a silent mission is, guys. I don't know why I'm explaining that now. And we get, in the first image, who is getting Darth Vader vibes off this? I am. That first kind of page, that first panel, almost looks like it's first off, it's in Mustafar. It's like that's where it is, and then you've got the cape and the helmet. Sounds like a Kitty said, walking through this sort of like very futuristic sort of like, or industrial, we'll say, industrial complex sort of room, and he's selecting. He's assigning an operative to a certain mission by the looks of things, and in this case he is assigning, I guess, like a Cobra operative, but then he's got the Baroness, so he's chosen the Baroness to deal with this particular mission. And then obviously we see him, like Cobra Commander, basically looking at the Baroness on the screen. His helmet is extra shiny in this one, Droz, indeed. And then we see the Baroness appearing out of a kind of like stretch limo outside. Actually, that is recognizable, and I can't put my finger on it. Do we know what building that is, guys, in the comments? I recognize it. It's like some sort of, it's in like Eastern Europe, is it? I can't think off the top of my head. Either way, does it say in any of the information on the screen? No, it does not. You think they'd put some like fun bits of info so you can kind of see it, but I don't know where that location is. Obviously she steps out of the stretch limo with a violin case or viola case, basically a case, an instrument case, and she's walking towards this this venue basically, and she's got a mask on, like one of those like eyes wide shut style mask. Weird reference there from me to rock, but you know what I'm saying. Is Annie in the house? Yes, she is. Annie's come to say hi. And you're in the middle of the preview of this silent mission. Do you want to come and talk it through? Come on then. Come here. You can come here. Yeah, here she comes. Hello, darling. Come here then. Let's say hello to everybody on the show. Yeah, there she is. There's a little baby girl. She loves being on this show, don't you? Yeah, just lick my face off completely. Thank you, darling. So, hi, Annie, says Joe. Some people are saying hi, darling. I know. Anyway, okay, I'm just while I get absolutely licked to within an inch of my life here. Is that the Reichstag in Berlin, says Bad Wolf? It could be. It could very well be. I'll do some Google image searches while I'm talking about it. But anyway, Baroness appears out the stretch limo. She's going to be performing, but obviously she's not, is she? And we see her basically kind of infiltrating this building. Clearly, yeah, she does look a bit like an Ewok, actually, don't you, darling? Did that upset you? Did that offend you? I don't think it did. We call her a little Ewok sometimes, don't we? Especially when you're really fluffy. She looks like an Ewok, like a little Wicket, don't you? I know. Are you having fun? Good. So then obviously we see her sort of kind of sneaking around in the building, going to a certain place in the building that she's not supposed to be in, and then of course taking out guards and what have you as well. So this is all... Oh, Vienna's a good shout, actually, Scott. Vienna is a really good shout. But anyway, that is an interesting start to this particular issue and mission. Yeah. What do you think? Did you like it? Are you a Baroness fan? Yeah, she is. Ow. Okay. I know. I'm busy at the moment, though. Maybe afterwards I'll take you for a walkies. Yeah? I'll take you out later. Okay. Are you going to be a good girl? She has no idea what's going on here, does she? She's just like, I need something now, and you have to provide it. I know. Go see mommy. I know. Good. See you later, darling. Thank you. And up she goes. Right then. So the preview of this is really cool. Again, it's got the sort of like I want to say tropes. The sort of like we've seen this in kind of Mission Impossible. We've seen this in many different kind of spy movies. Hell, we even see it in Tenet, don't we? I'm pretty sure there's a scene in Tenet where they're in like a kind of an opera house sort of situation. In fact, it might be the beginning of the movie. It's been a long time. A long time. It's been since it was out, Tenet, since I've seen it. It's been a while. Enough for me to just forget every single detail about a film. In any case, pretty cool. Good start to the issue, and it's making us all excited for what's to come, I should imagine. Baroness is always an interesting character to basically feature in these issues, and she's always one that I think a lot of fans enjoy seeing her sort of like in different scenarios. So I think this is going to be a good one. It's a real American hero, of course. It's not Energon Universe. This is a real American hero. So this is related to Baroness, who is actually an operative for the Cobra side, not the Joe side. Scott says the roof on the second page matches the Opera House. Thank you. In Vienna. Brilliant. And yeah, so anyway, it says, so Joelle Jones is on the cover. She's also writing this as well, along with Declan Shalvey. Colors Mike Spicer. It says superstar creators present unforgettable all-new Cobra silent missions. The face of comic books changed forever when Jojo, A Real American Hero 21, introduced fans to the silent interlude, an action-packed story with no dialogue. Now Cobra finally gets their turn in the spotlight. And then, of course, we have the covers, which we've discussed before on the show. I've gone through these already. They're all quite similar. She's sitting down in pretty much all of them. Yep. I mean, there's only technically 2 covers there, just variations of the same one both times. But yeah, and I've gone through these in detail before. But yeah, that explains why she's sitting on those kind of seats, doesn't it? Although I think someone mentioned that they were they were still upright. So she was sitting on the edge of the upright seat rather than like the seat pushed down, which I thought that was also quite funny. Let me just, if I zoom in on it, yeah. Anyway, that is Silent Missions Baroness. Jorge Fornes does the other covers B and D as well as Joelle, of course, on the other ones. Right then, is that everything for the comics? I believe it is. Okay. Next up, we're going to be getting into we're going to be starting the regular news. Obviously, it's not comics are regular news, but you know what I mean, the alternative news. No matter how I say it, none of it makes sense, does it? But we're starting the next bit of news, is what I'll say, with Hasbro's plans for their Pawtucket residence. I hope everybody's strapped in for this one. Hello. So yes, Hasbro are set to sell their Rhode Island property in Pawtucket, of course, once they have moved out of said property to like lease whatever astronomical Boston building they're going into. Well, we know what building they're going into, but it's going to be ridiculous. But they're going to be selling this building, which is really sad to me. But obviously, what else were they going to do with it? They're probably, it's they own it, so they're going to sell it. Of course, they officially expect to vacate the corporate headquarters in the fourth quarter of 2026, and that is anywhere between October and December at the end of the year, for those that aren't aware of quarters. Iconic toy maker Hasbro will be moving out of the Rhode Island. Yeah, I've done that one. So basically, they're moving to the Seaport District. They plan on relocating 700 full-time employees to the new 7-story headquarters off Summer Street, to be specific. The toy maker signed a lease to rent the space back in October. So it'll be roughly a year in the making by the time they actually get to move in to Boston. They own the current headquarters as well as the adjacent building along Newport Avenue. If you've never been there before, then effectively you've got one huge sort of like old school factory looking building, right? It's quite short building. It's not tall. It's like only like a couple of kind of stories tall. It's not very big in height, but it spans a pretty large, floor plan size. And then on the same side of the road that that Hasbro building is on, there's a road, basically there's a building next to it as well, which is kind of like connected to the car park. The car park is in front of that building, and they own that one as well. So they're going to be selling that one. Now, I wonder if it will be turned into like fancy apartments, because that seems to happen quite often. There is a block of fancy apartments in Pawtucket just round the corner. I would know because I used to live there, and they so I could see them doing something along those lines, because there are companies out there that tend to buy these places up and turn them into those sort of kind of like apartments. And to be fair to the one we were in previously, that was an old factory. It was an old American wire factory, right? And in that building, when you go around and you kind of like look at the interior, they have kept loads of historical elements of it all over the place, like the they're sort of like built around some elements to keep some of that kind of really cool sort of like industrial kind of vibe. But then they've got loads of pictures up that commemorate certain historical significance and what have you all the way through. So I'm almost like hopeful that whoever takes this on does a similar thing, keeps a lot of what is sort of there, and effectively sort of highlights certain areas of the building as like with historical significance. That would be so freaking cool. I would be, I'd be happier if, you can't really be happy with the situation, but I'd be happy with the situation if they did end up giving it to someone who kind of treated it with a bit of like historical significance and respect. And like I said, of course, if you're going to be turning something into a bunch of apartments, you can't exactly keep a lot of things. Of course you can't, and you'd be gutting it, and you'd be doing a lot more, building on it, you know, it would be difficult to do something without obviously gutting the entire place. But it would be great if they could minimum throw up some historical significant kind of pictures and kind of like information and plaques and what have you. That'd be kind of cool, just so that people could, you know, visit the place and, you know, still see that, oh, this is where they used to make really cool stuff. In any case, that is pretty much the situation. And that, yeah, that was reported, of course, by the WPRI in Rhode Island, of course. So it is legit information. They will be selling the property. Again, a bit of a no-brainer, and it just makes me sad to bring it all up again, but I felt like we had to talk about it a little bit. Obviously, this still doesn't change the fact that they are relocating a ton of employees to Boston. And, you know, it's not, for the majority, I would say, it is not ideal. People are having to, like, you know, really think about how it's going to affect them from a, you know, like all the things like uprooting families and moving them closer, because a lot of people are in Rhode Island as well, because it is a lot cheaper to live in Rhode Island than it is Massachusetts, for many obvious reasons, but also just, you know, well, for lots of reasons. But yeah, I feel like, obviously, Hasbro as a corporation, they don't necessarily really care in that scenario, do they? It does feel like a way of doing a bunch of layoffs without actually having to say we're doing layoffs as well, because obviously people will be pushed out, not, you know, like because they can't actually afford to commute or move or what have you. So yeah, it's definitely going to have a big hit, I think, on the employees moving to Boston, as you can imagine. And commuting, goodness me, like, first of all, I wouldn't be driving it. Hell no. Any time between like 2 a.m. It's actually all the time now. It's really bad, but obviously it gets really terrible from like 5:30 onwards in the morning. It's just absolutely gross. The drive, I can't stand it. If I ever have to go to Boston for like the airport or something, hate it every single time. And getting out of the airport is like, as in the in the car, I don't mean like walking out of the doors of the airport. I mean getting away from the airport and back into the correct road that you need to actually get home is a night. I've done it like so many times, and I'll tell you now, 93% of the time I have taken the wrong turn, despite doing it so many times, and of course having, Kitty said, and of course having you know, GPS going as well, maps running in the background. But it's just one of those things, it gets like really, it's terrible. I hate driving in that area, it's horrible. But anyway, they don't think many people will be doing that, because it's not even like they've got car parking options in that area, really. So that isn't going to be happening. I think a lot of people are going to be commuting via train. And even then, say like Providence, really, you've got to get to Providence first. If you don't live in or near Providence, then that's a journey straight away, right? Either you're driving yourself and parking up, paying a fee for it, or you're getting a lift in, or you're getting an Uber or whatever. It's going to be like constant payment, or like so much money is going to be spent just on commuting. Then of course you've got the train journey to Boston, and then apparently it's like a 20-minute or maybe even half an hour walk from the station to where they need to be, like the actual building. So like I said, it's not practical. You'd have to leave at the crack of sparrow farts in order to get to work on time. Because it's not just that it's like it's not exactly a really super long journey, but it's going to be time consuming based on all these other factors, basically. Scott says, you take the wrong one so often because you have taken the wrong one so often, you reinforce the mistake. Not just that as well, but I've taken the incorrect one in different ways as well. So I've gone like the wrong way in all sorts of directions, Scott. I think that's more of the problem. It's because I've gone in every single direction. I haven't narrowed it down to the right one yet. That's the problem. Anyway, that's it's all rubbish to talk about. No one wants to talk about this. Everyone wants to talk about the fun toy stuff, but obviously this is happening, and we are reporting on it. So there you go. That is Hasbro to sell their Pawtucket property once they move out in Q4 of 2026. Right then, next, and some definitely more enjoyable chat, if I can remember what it is. We're going to do a quick drive-by of Heroscape, as we always do. Okay, it's Heroscape. They've revealed Storm Shadow art and bio. You can check it out on their website as well, and on our socials where we've shared it. You can obviously get all the info you need from there. They have said, and I'll say this: born of an ancient lineage of ninja assassins, Storm Shadow infiltrates your Heroscape battlefields on March 16th. So that's going up March the 16th, and yeah, there you go. That's all you really need to know. I will actually say as well, I believe Risk, if you got in on the G.I. Joe Special Missions Risk situation, which was another Kickstarter previously with Renegade Game Studios, that has just shipped. That shipped yesterday for me. So if you are in on the Risk game that they did previous to this Heroscape Kickstarter, then yeah, fun times. Get in there. And like I said, Storm Shadow here. I love this artwork. I love the fact that companies still utilize some of the early classified designs, because then we get to see this Storm Shadow. And who wants this in classified series? I definitely think there needs to be a period of time. Does it have to be the 10th anniversary? I don't know, where classified do some sort of like vintage classified look backs. Obviously, like things like this, right? Maybe that Baroness sort of figure, but the redeco with the purple hair or what have you. Little things like that would be kind of fun. Maybe tie it all together with some sort of like, because I've talked about this in the past as well, but I'd love to see like concepts or unreleased or stuff like that get the Macquarie thing, which I think I mentioned in the news burst this past week. But Ralph Macquarie did some beautiful, amazing Star Wars concept art back in the day, you know, that preceded the movies and what have you. And so they turned those or some of them into into figures. So I kind of feel like Classified has got the history in it now to sort of like do something where they could do like a, you know, from the design desk sort of releases. Would be kind of fun, wouldn't it? Like a designer series or whatever, where it never quite made it or came out, but here it is in classified form, and we've, you know, rejigged it a little bit. So we could get a Storm Shadow like this. We could get, I don't know, some of those crazy cool like unreleased figures from the O-ring kind of era, vintage era, like Ninja Commandos, for example, or that really cool Baroness, the Battle Core Baroness, or 94, 95 Baroness that never actually made it. There's so many cool figures, obviously, that never made it. We've got concept art for, we've got, you know, models of or whatever that never quite came out. I think it'd be really cool to do a little run of figures like that. I think it'd just be really nice to do. And I would be well into it. I'd be really into getting this Storm Shadow. I never thought like when he first was about, I was just expecting it to show up. I was just expecting this Storm Shadow to happen. And it never really quite happened, because it was in that time period, wasn't it, where they were changing the design. And then we waited and waited and waited for Storm Shadow, and we didn't get that first Storm Shadow for the longest time. Like, it felt so ridiculous. Yes, we got the Arctic Mission one, of course, and the movie one, but we didn't actually get Storm Shadow, you know, OG Storm Shadow, until that that first classified release. And yeah, it was so weird that I felt like we were waiting for that for the longest time. And then we were waiting for version 2 for the longest time. I feel like Storm Shadow, they could have kicked Storm Shadows out the way they're kicking Snake Eyes out. Like, they could have just been absolutely churning those bad boys out. And they didn't really do that with Storm Shadow. And it's interesting to me that was the case. But yeah, anyway, there you go. That's Storm Shadow. that is Heroscape Rumble at the Rift Battle Box, and that obviously will be a Kickstarter March 16th. There you go. Right then, next, what are we talking about next? I don't know, because I can't remember. Oh, it's Super 7, I think, next. Let's do it. Yes, Super 7 Reaction Plus dropped their Super 7 dropped their latest Reaction Plus wave 7, and I said teased the Target exclusive and revealed the Target exclusive very clearly as well. So let's have a look at what all that means. So yes, the Dana, Sunbow Dana, Movie Chuckles, Comic Flash, and G.I. Joe European Missions 15 / Action Force Monthly 15 Hydro Viper. That's a mouthful, isn't it? In the week, pre-orders are up. No, sorry, not pre-orders. Orders are up now. You can, and I think they've even started coming in for people as well. So not only can you like actually order them on a website, but they will probably show up within a few days as well, which is amazing. So that's fun. And also, I imagine we haven't seen images yet of the Target exclusive Snake Eyes showing up in stores, but I'm sure that is happening and probably will happen. We'll start seeing pictures of that very soon. People may have been sending me images right this second. I don't know. Anyway, here's Flash, Comic Flash, specifically from that comic. What is the? I forget the name of the. It's the yearbook, right? I think it's the yearbook, where he's peeling potatoes, but very much a rip off that panel, that page. Incredibly, including the weapons and everything as well, the accessories. So that's Flash with his lovely emo sweep as well. Really cool that they're doing, figures that are like, we talked to Brian about this, and he didn't want to do figures that were available, and by available had been done before necessarily. Now Flash has been done before, but you could argue that obviously you can argue it's not the same figure at all, but it is very much a case of, with Flash, it's a hard figure to get without spending an absolute fortune, even loose. And of course, carded, forget about it. And of course, you're talking like straight and swivel arms, aren't you, with this particular figure? So, I'm for these kind of figures showing up. I don't really even mind them doing figures that we've already had. I don't mind us getting like a Super 7 Reaction Plus like Mortal, or like, figures that are like difficult to get but are like still, and super expensive. I really don't mind that. Other people may disagree, and that's totally fine. I'm not just because I don't mind them doing that doesn't mean they're going to either, by the way. So I would just say that I like the fact that we get figures sort of reissued a little bit as well, and not necessarily improved, but added to, or some things changed a little bit to make it slightly different. So anyway, cool. So that's Flash with his emo sweep. Love it very much. We also have Sunbow Dana, which is a good shout as well for putting in this wave, mainly because it opens a door for October Guard a little bit across the board. Now, the fact that Super 7 quite often do figures around the same time as Classified do them. We've seen it with Big Lob, we've seen it with Pythona, Royal Guard, we've seen it with lots of different figures and what have you. They're just three, but they've done it a lot more. I mean, technically Hydro Viper as well. Yeah, Hydro Viper, slightly different version of it, but the same similar times that they're revealing them. So I wonder if, because there was like I want to say there was a leak, not a leak, but like a rumor. I'll say a rumor going around that October Guard was back on the table, and I think in terms of like the characters, they can probably do things to circumnavigate the nearly said another word there, circumnavigate the sort of like tense political scenario. But having said that, I kind of almost expecting a Dana at some point in the future, and that is, I will say, I'm not nod winking on that one. Okay, I have no clue if Dana's coming in the Kitty said in the Classified series, but I like to see I see these patterns that pop up every now and again, and you know, I wouldn't be surprised, is all I'll say, if we do see Dana, not necessarily this Dana in Classified, but a Dana of some description in the Fouch. If not this year, then almost certainly 2027, right? Anyway, that is Sunbow Dana, who showed up in, of course, the Invaders, and I believe another episode, or was it just the Invaders? Might have just been the Invaders, but there you go. Next, Hydro Viper. This is still crazy to me they did this. We've got a really good episode to come. Actually, I'm still in the process of editing it with Mark Seddon from Talking Joe. We go through a load of things that we'd like to see, kind of comic series, the collector series I did with the Cobra Commander and the issue. So we've basically gone through our own little top threes of what comic and what figure we'd like to see personally. So I'll be posting that hopefully this weekend, if not early this next week. And we talked about the Hydro Viper and that. The fact that they even dared to do this is crazy pants, like a proper deep cut of a version of a character, and to do the different head sculpt, to do the different flippers, to do the different deco. It's just like, I'm so happy this exists. I know I'm probably in a minority, but I find this so pleasing. It's not even real. So anyway, that is Hydro Viper. So he's obviously in that group as well. And we have Chuckles in the white shirt, which I'm really excited to see that they've actually got the little pink middle bit of the flower on the shirt. When I first saw the pictures of the figure coming through, I think it was at Toy Fair as well. When I first saw the images, I thought it's all yellow. They haven't gone and put the little pink deco in there. They have, clearly. So it should have the pink deco inside the flower on the shirt. And if not, then obviously it was a deco change or like a costing choice, I would say. But we'll have to see. Like, whoever's got them in hand, you can have a look, can't you? Yes, they did forget to add a rocket with Chuckles Accessories figure 6-pack. I agree with that. So anyway, yeah, I'm really happy they did a movie Chuckles as well, like absolutely sensational. So anyway, that wave is available now on super7.com. Go get it. And it'll be in stores as well. So, you know, check your targets. And, you know, also keep an eye out for this beauty. Yes, Tiger Force Reaction Plus Snake Eyes, only at Target. They teased the artwork from Jason Edmiston's reworked Jason Edmiston artwork, recolored, redecoed, however you want to say it. And yeah, and of course, this was the sort of reveal. And then the next day we saw that they had revealed the full figure in package render as well. So this will be at Target. Snake Eyes Tiger Force, Sunbow Tiger Force for Reaction Plus. And this will be in that wave, basically, of figures on shelves and what have you. So keep an eye out for this, because I want to start seeing some pictures of these figures. I'm not sure if I think I'm getting these sent to me. I don't know. So at the moment, I'm not going to assume that's happening, but keep an eye out for these, because I definitely want to see these particular figures. Is there any more for any more? There is a little bit more. We're staying with O-Ring, and of course, Skeletron.com posted the Yeti and Zargonaut figures in their on their web store yesterday at 12 p.m. Eastern. Did everyone get theirs? Did you guys get any Yetis, any Zargonauts? Did you partake in these 3 3/4 retro O-Ring style figures? Because they are both amazing. I've already got a couple of Yetis, so I picked up a couple of Zargonauts, which look amazing. And they just keep smashing out of the park with these retro figures. And of course, the 6-inch ones are beautiful. I still need to get into them. Can you believe it? I am way behind. Look how else I haven't opened yet. Hit and Run. I'll drop that. Mole Rat. Still haven't opened these yet. I've opened Big Lob only because I wanted to put him on the shelf with my Rawhides. Lifeline still boxed up. Night Viper still boxed up. And then, I'll give a shout out at the end, but I'll shout out now. Massive shout out to Luke, who sent me this. Thank you, Luke. This is the Pyramid of Darkness Super 7 set. So thank you very much. I appreciate that very much indeed. I haven't opened it yet, but very excited to. Should we do a live unboxing now? I'm sure you guys have seen this before. It's just the Super 7. Was it SDCC exclusive at the time? I want to say. Yeah, it's this beauty. It's the Pyramid of Darkness one with the sheath over the top of it that comes off, and then you've got the kind of mining incident, the Snake Eyes and Shipwreck in Disguise, and the robot, and all of the jetpack troopers that chase them in the Indiana Jones tunnel scenario. I love that. That is such a great scene. Anyway, yeah. So thank you very much, Luke. I very much appreciate that. Yeah, cool. Anyway, check out skeletron.com and see if they're still in stock. I don't think did they sell out? I'm not sure. Not sure actually. Scott says, is it a white shirt with gold flowers or a blue shirt with black flowers? Let's not get into some sort of meta G.I. Joe mixed with real world dress kind of like memes, please. David says, Chris, got the next Super 7 Wave. Hydro Viper is sick. Oh, I'm so jealous. Hasbro should do an October Guard box set like they did for Marvel Legends, Alpha Flight. That'd be cool, Rancid Dragon. Yes, if they did like a box set, like a exclusive, would be kind of cool. Snake Eyes Master of Disguise, says Scott, exactly, with his mask underneath. Brilliant. Right then, that is everything for O-Ring news and Super 7 and Skeletron. Should we get stuck into some classified to finish it off? Before we do, though, let's have a quick message from our sponsor. Yeah, go get your deluxe treasury editions of the Battle Action Force comics from either TotalToyBooks.com in the UK and Europe, Skeletron.com in the US, and Amazon for the rest of the universe. Right, classified updates. We've got quite a few things to talk about here, as you can see. We've got the 250th anniversary Duke sort of leak, which was quite interesting and funny and quite hilarious. And we've got the promo images for the upcoming Night Creeper Dire pre-order as well. So that is 19th or 17th of March. I'll remember in a second. I think it's the 19th. But we go through that in a little bit anyway. But as well as that, I've also been sent some stuff for the last couple of days in regards to other figures. Yeah, can you believe it? Royal Guard started showing up, of course. So that has been happening for a while. But shout out to Adventures in Collecting, who picked this one up. So thank you, AIC, for tagging us in this so that we could be jealous that you found one. Thanks very much. Still haven't got Royal Guard yet, but I've got them on pre-order, so I'm waiting for them to turn up, I guess. But anyway, just so you know, they are pretty much getting out there in terms of the stores, and they have been for a while now. So yeah, keep your eyes peeled for a Cobra La Royal Guard. These they're doing really well, these figures, aren't they? Like, a lot of people are digging this particular figure and trying to buy them all up. So good luck on your hunting for that one, and shout out to Adventures in Collecting. You guys rock. Your targets are stacked with them, says Matt. Damn, I need to find targets near me that are like that, because they just are not, unfortunately. Everything is a pre-order scenario for me. Everything in this scenario. Pulse ships the guards on Monday, says Scott. Yay, can't wait. 610 has just picked up my Mole Rat Stage 2 and Night Viper from my local toy shop. That's always a good shout, isn't it? If you go to like independent toy stores, if there's one near you, if you've got a friend who runs one like I used to do, that was always fun. Then you could be like, hey, could you just put that aside for me so I can grab it later? But anyway, yes, Royal Guards are out there, of course, as we already knew that. But anyway, shout out to AIC, who Adventures in Collecting, who picked theirs up very recently. And also massive shout out to Shark-Eyed Toy View on YouTube, who has already got Red Dog and Taurus in hand. Of course, Adam, of course you have. So jealous, not even gonna lie. And yeah, he's obviously, you can check the the video out, link in our description, well, link in on our socials, as well as just going to YouTube and, you know, subscribing to a Shark Eye Toy View would probably make more sense. But yeah, there you go, Taurus and Red Dog, or Red Dog and Taurus on screen, and some lovely images as well that he sent us to use for the for this particular segment. Here is Red Dog being like unnecessarily rough. Do you get it? With Falcon, or I would say necessarily rough with Falcon, because that is one of the worst head sculpts of all time. And Taurus looking on in like utter disgust. Love it. This is a really good pose. This is a really cool 2-pack, actually. They look great. And he had another shot of them. There isn't a great difference in height, by the way. Like, I noticed that when I saw them in at Toy Fair, like looking at them next to each other, there wasn't a significant difference, to the point where you're like, oh man, Red Dog is way bigger than Taurus. Like they're pretty cool sized figures, to be fair. Like, I have no like issue with that. Like, I think the renders didn't quite, or probably made it appear as it was a little bit like further apart in terms of the sizes. Red Dog is certainly like bulkier, there's no doubt about that. But yeah, there's definitely there's definitely isn't a massive difference with the two figures, in my opinion. So I don't have an issue with the kind of heights of them. And in fact, there was a shot which I haven't got here typically, with all of the Renegades together, including obviously Sarge in the background and Mercer with them, and they all are around about the same ish height. So it's, you know, to me, it's kind of cool. Badwell says, did you see where I tagged you in images with the retro carded female Crimson Guard? No clue where the eBay seller got it, but I'm glad I came across it when browsing. I did, but I've got my Crimson Guard females. I thought they were just, I think some people have had them shipped, I believe. So I don't think it's like crazy. Mine are, I didn't get them in like some sort of underground, you know, via you know, the Far East sort of scenario. It was, they were effectively shipped as ordered. I think some point they got shipped. Crazy Legs and Zap I'm still waiting on, of course, but yeah, the female Crimson Guard, I don't think is a super early situation on that one, Bad. I think it's, yeah, they're some of them have got out for sure. Anyway, there's Taurus and Red Dog, or Red Dog and Taurus, and there is Taurus to show you the head sculpt. It's really intricate beard maneuverage and eyebrows as well. There's so many little details on Taurus's head sculpt that I really like. His beard is brilliant. He looks like he does look like an old school strongman, doesn't he? When they're ripping a phone book in half. In fact, how funny would it have been to give him a half ripped phone book accessory? That would have been hilarious, and maybe a piano that Red Dog could play. That would be freaking hilarious. Anyway, my mind's going a bit crazy on this one. And then, of course, it was EE that shipped that retro wave. Thank you, Jithro. That's who I was trying to think of. There was Entertainment Earth. Yeah, they shipped the retro wave a few weeks ago. You're absolutely right. So yeah, it's not like a crazy underground early sort of figure necessarily. But yeah, okay. And yeah, there's Red Dog with his shark tooth necklace. I think it's a shark tooth, or a Deinonychus tooth maybe, and his headband and earring as well. Again, loads of great details on Red Dog's head sculpt as well. Love these two. I'm actually acrobat, not strongman. Mandela effect that got us all. No, I said he looks like a strongman, Jeremy. I didn't say he was a strongman. I said he's got the look of a strongman. I know he's an acrobat. Just want to clear that up. I said his face, head sculpt, is giving strongman. Old school strongman. Do you get what I'm saying? I wasn't saying he is a strongman. I'm saying I know he's an acrobat. Red Dog should have been changed to a rugby player, says Lawrence. That for the UK exclusive. Do a UK exclusive. That would be amazing. UK Pulse exclusive. But yeah, that would be funny. And I think is that it for the shots? Maybe, yeah, I think that is. So that's everything for Red Dog and Taurus. Now let's get into this. Now this obviously is related to what I'm talking about next. This is the Super 7 Walmart exclusive 250th anniversary of the United States Wave for 8 of Reaction Plus, which features Snake Eyes, Duke, Lady J, and Lieutenant Falcon in decos, weird different kind of designs and stuff, in like red, white, and blue with a star base stand as well, like a star-shaped stand, which is kind of cool. So this is what Super 7 are doing for this particular Walmart extravaganza. And then also we've seen the red, white, and blue. I always forget the name of the character, the figure, but the Transformers figure they're doing as well in a similar way, red, white, and blue. That's also going to be in this sort of like Walmart 250th, etc. And therefore, we should all have expected that Classified were going to do one. Now, we did get a listing for this a while back, so we sort of knew it was coming. But the description was so funny to me. It was white shirt and blue jeans. And obviously it did highlight the USA 250 thing. And I was looking at it like, what on earth are they going to do? I didn't realize that they just meant a literal repaint of the retro Duke. But that's what we have. And I have to say, like, I'm going to be getting this because as a collector completionist of the Classified series. It's just part and parcel. Am I amazingly over the moon with this one? Yeah, not really. Do I think they could have done like a ton of really other good options for this? Yes, but I've got the feeling, and also I feel like this is also quite fairly well known at this point, but I feel like this is very Walmart directed as an addict. Yes, Mark. And therefore I don't think it was done early in the line plan is all I'll say on that one. So I think maybe they got to the point where it was like, we'll just have to do sort of like a very simple redeco of an existing figure, redo the card a little bit, but kind of like, to make it so it's not as excessive as, say, having to redo something, new tooling, that sort of thing, right? So that's my vibe that I get off this particular figure. I do kind of feel like Super 7 did a more interesting job with their Duke, although it does give Chuckles vibes, doesn't it? Big time Chuckles vibes. Now with this Duke, with the actual Classified Duke, if we were going down that route, I mean, there's a ton of other characters that you could probably do as well for like the USA 250, right? You could, my mind immediately goes to things like Joe Colton, right? As a sort of like OG, do a Joe Colton, but you're not going to do it red, white, and blue, are you? So, if you're going to do a Joe Colton, you're going to do it as a Joe Colton, and you're going to do it. Stop saying do it, and you're going to make the figure like Joe Colton. I suppose you could probably get away with a blue suit, white shirt, and red tie. Couldn't you? You'd probably get away with that with a Joe Colton sort of agent, like they did in in the comics, and then of course the club did the figure. So you could have, maybe that was an option. Maybe that wasn't an option to do a suited Joe Colton with a white, like a white shirt, dress shirt, the blue suit, and like a red tie. That might actually have worked. That might have worked. Now, anyway, that's by the by. But a lot of new tooling in that kind of regard. Then you've got characters like said Joe Colton, Gung Ho in the kind of like either marine dress blues, which obviously is probably an issue and can't be done, or that version of Gung Ho that came with a flag. And then I feel like a very easy and simple addition for this particular release, doing like Duke in all of the red, white, and blue, fair enough, right? I would say that a really simple addition to this figure would have been a flag, and maybe give him the jetpack as well. And yes, it's not like, it's by the by, really, because it's obviously not the intro to the movie Duke, is it? It's a different deco and what have you. But I think doing a flag would have been enough actually for me in this set to make this cool enough to want to pick up because it's got the flag in it. And then you've got like the flag could maybe lock into the figure stand. They could have done a figure stand with a hole in it so the flag could kind of like pour into it, making like a stand for the flag as well as the figure. I don't know. I'm just kind of like shooting out ideas here, really. But I don't necessarily feel like this is doing a lot of, other than being a repaint for this particular, USA 250 sort of scenario. A lot of people have said that, a lot of people are enjoying it. A lot of people want this, and that's totally cool. I'm happy for you. I will say though, that I think that there was so many good options for this. It's a shame if it is the case that it came in like as a late request, which it does feel that way, doesn't it? Then if it came in as a late request, then obviously their hands were tied a little. And it's one of those things of, do we do something like brand new for this bad boy, or do we do something that's going to be not quick and easy, because none of it's quick and easy, but you know what I mean, quicker and probably easier than doing something from scratch. Well, it is both of those. It is quicker and easier than doing something from scratch, of course. That is just a fact. Anyway, lots to talk about with this one, isn't there? What I will say though is I love the fact they reworked the card back to have the red, white, and blue explosion. Is this, other than the digital explosion, is this the first variation of the retro card, the proper variation of a retro card we have had? Should we say this is the second variation of the retro card? Because I'm hoping we see more variations of this retro card in the future. I want Sonic Fighters. I want freaking I want Tiger Force. There are still some Tiger Force figures they could do on retro cards, by the way. Just saying. Just saying. I'm gonna go up to the current address and I'm gonna sit outside yelling that until somebody hears me or has me arrested for yelling retro Tiger Force at the top of my voice. Anything to get us something different than the explosion background. But I do like that we've got something different here. Now, does it need a call out? Some people thought it needed like a 250 badge or something over the stripes or something along those lines. And I, to some degree, would be kind of cool. But also, if there isn't sort of like a, if there isn't like a standard logo that, say, Walmart were wanting to incorporate, then that's probably why there isn't anything on there. It's probably why there isn't anything on the Super 7 card backs. So, yeah, I would suggest that, again, this is very Walmart directed. And there you go. That's all I can say about that one, really. Here it is, like at an angle with all the gear that it comes with. And I don't know. I like redecos of figures. I always have done. I don't like, I love the Tiger Force figures. There's a great example of redecos, but it's all, very different. This is still very different than Duke, but because there's no real grounded substance to the deco, like in terms of what we've had in the history of the brand, that's the only reason for me of it being a little bit like, yeah, okay. I guess the red, white, and blue, the Real American Hero, etc., is the homage here as well, more than anything else, and that's totally cool and fine. But yeah, I've been seeing a lot of like, I don't know. It's definitely this is Marmite. This is a love it or hate it situation. And cue the comments, people saying, I don't mind Marmite, but it's not my favorite. So they're basically saying that even though I'm saying it's a love or hate it thing, there's going to be people on the fence a little bit. And I'm probably one of those people because, like I said, I don't love this, but I also don't super hate it. So again, maybe it's not Marmite at all. Anyway. He's red, white, and blue, but it doesn't bring to mind the flag. It's almost like Captain America is dressed like he should be Captain Puerto Rico if you really look at him. Yeah. The white accessories could be used for the polar figures. Absolutely. I mean, yeah, there's definitely, I think people are digging into this, trying to find good uses for things. But yes, absolutely. I mean, someone even mentioned doing Arctic green shirts the other day. And that would be kind of cool having that helmet already there for you. I do think the same as Mark here, a jetpack and flag accessory would have worked. I think just a flag, because it's not the Duke of that particular intro. I'm not that fussed if it doesn't have a jetpack. But yeah, I think I'd have been more excited, and I mean this genuinely, for a complete reissue of Retro Duke with the flag and a jetpack. So no backpack with the shovel and a jetpack, no redeco, so it's just Retro Duke and the flag. And I think that would have been cool enough for me. And because we've seen that done. We've seen that done with Star Wars. We've seen that done with, I mean, Star Wars, man. They reissue things all the time and just have it on a different card back. I've seen that so many times. And like Marvel Legends have done it. We've had like reissues of certain figures, in the different ways. I would not have cared a jot if we'd have got a reissued Duke, but with a jetpack, maybe with the cross straps rather than the secondaries wearing, and the flag. And I think that would have been freaking awesome. But again, why am I still going on about this, guys? Why am I still talking about this? I am obsessed, aren't I? And I actually, like I said, I don't mind it. I'm quite excited to get this figure now because it's got different colors on the friggin' retro card. What is wrong with me? Okay, I'm an addict. Mark says flag, not flag. So yes, a flappy in the wind on a pole flag, not the gigantic aircraft carrier. How about a flag sticker, says Jedi Ben. Not a bad shout, actually. That'd been kind of fun. Just like a little extra thing in there as a here's a little fun thing. Or like how about this? A baseball card style card that had Duke's info on it, like a redecoed Duke from the Impel line, right? Like redo the Impel Duke, one of the Impel Duke cards, right? And then on the back have the American flag. That would have been kind of fun, wouldn't it? I don't know. There's a lot of things that could have been done, but I think this is one of those things to just get this out. And yeah, you've got another stand for the snow display, classified figure guy. Indeed. Right. What's next in the? Oh yes, the updates of classified we're in, aren't we? And we've moved into night creepers. I feel like we've moved into the night. I've been on so long, but it's only been an hour. I feel like I've been doing this for freaking hours. That's my fault, not yours. I'm not saying you're all boring, by the way. I'm just saying that my brain is not functioning correctly. So Walmart exclusive Night Creeper Dire Tech is upon us almost. Just a couple of weeks out, 19th of March for Walmart Collecticon. And yeah, we'll be looking at that date a second as well. But before that, let's go and look through all the lovely, beautiful promo images. Look at this. I think this is gorgeous. And one of the main happy reasons I had for the promo images with this was seeing that Night Creeper head on the figure. I'm really surprised, by the way, that again, they beautiful shots. Love the diorama photography. Love what Matt and Corey do at Hasbro. No notes in regards to that, guys. I am surprised we don't see Crystal Ball minimum, and we don't see a Ghost Viper anywhere in these promo images. If they're not going to be doing like a cheeky reveal here or there, I'm surprised they didn't get the kind of Dire Tech crew together for a promo image, just to kind of show you what like a bigger display would look like. Because I think that would have, again, I'm on board for this Night Creeper no matter what. I heard Night Creeper and I'm like, yep, in. You don't have to say anymore. Red, white, and blue Cthulhu head for 250, says SFF&G. That's SVF&G. That's brilliant and hilarious. It's the night for me here in the UK, Chris, says Tac Tac Toys. Brilliant. Good night, good evening. They should have repackaged Captain America in a Joe box with a Duke head. That would have been funny, Rancid Dragon. These Walmart exclusives give me so much anxiety, says RealZim. I'm with you on that. Don't you worry. But I feel like they won't be too hard to get these. I think you'll be okay with these. But yeah. RealZim also says, love the figure, but I'm somewhat disappointed the head is exactly the same as Crystal Ball's. I mean, yeah, it's reuse, isn't it? It's kind of like saving some tooling here and there and everywhere. I would say, though, that I agree with that. I think that doing the Crystal Ball Cthulhu head sort of takes away some of the special angle of it on Crystal Ball. Like it kind of takes the edge off Crystal Ball a little bit, and that's why I will not be utilizing that head for the Night Creepers, even from a display perspective. I want them as Night Creepers, and I think they're cool and pretty dope enough without. I mean, look at that. That is a sick figure. That is a sick figure. Those Night Creepers probably stole the dire technology, and they are not really with Cobra. They are mercenaries, says Luke. There's a narrative for you. Does it say we haven't got the narrative yet, have we? Because the listing isn't up yet, I want to say. But anyway, anywho, yeah, that's a good shout though, Luke. Definitely. And also thank you very much for my wonderful Pyramid of Darkness set. By the way, just I shouted you out earlier. I'm not sure if you saw that, but thank you very much. Figure Six Pack says supposedly this is procured stolen Diatech, says Figure Six Pack. Yeah, again, good shout. They should have made a red helmet so that it is red, white, and blue top down. Also, these are Revolutionary War colors too. Starfighter, we're talking about Duke, aren't we now? I say sorry, yeah. They are cool shots, says Real Zim. I'm going to use the snake head instead, says David. That's a good shout, actually. I think the snake or the wolf head would work really well on the Night Creepers. I think I mentioned this in the news burst in the week as well, where I feel like the Cthulhu head is that's Crystal Ball. And it would look cool on a diorama display to have multiple Cthulhu heads on, like, plinths or something, in like a Crystal Ball sort of like throne room or something. Because he'd have something kind of crazy like that, I reckon, like a castle he'd live in. And it would be all like lit up with that kind of green technology. But on like these plinths leading up to his throne, you could have the little Cthulhu heads on them. I think that'd be really, really dope. Stocky BD says the Transformers team explained that they are not allowed to use cross-sell images if the figures aren't available in the same calendar year. Oh, that's a good shout. I'm sure it's the same for the Joe team. That's a good point, actually, Stocky. Yeah, I didn't think about that, but that could be the reason. Yeah, could very well be the reason. But it's a shame that you don't see them all together. I mean, Pythona and the Royal Guards were shown off together in promo images. But were Royal Guards, was that last year, or was that was last year, wasn't it? So they're probably just about able to use those both figures because it was still technically inside the calendar year. But I can't remember when the Royal Guard promo images dropped. It might have been this year, actually. So lies. I'm sure there are some exceptions to the rule, specifically for the Joe team. Snakehead would make sense with the once a man snake arms. Absolutely, Scott. Absolutely agree with you. Tax says, whenever we get Psych Out in Classified and whatever Joe equivalent of dire technology Psych Out will use, I want a team of Psych Out tech green shirts to support Psych Out against Crystal Ball. Stop saying Psych Out. But yeah, that would be amazing. That would be amazing. And I will say that, I'd be very surprised if we didn't see a Psych Out at some point this year. Nod, nod, wink, wink. I hope they do Diatech Cobra Troopers, says Starfighter. That would be really cool, actually. Very cool indeed. More shots of this beautiful figure. I did look at these again. I couldn't see anything in the background, like any homage, any like cheeky Easter eggs, any like Deep Six wasn't in the background. Didn't see any snake armors. All the good, all the stuff that we usually talk about around about now. But yeah, still looks really cool. I said there was no Crystal Ball, but no. For a second there, I thought maybe one of the Cthulhu head characters was Crystal Ball, but no, of course not. It's just the Night Creepers. Anyway, love these shots, these group shots as well. Absolutely phenomenal figure. I really, really can't wait for this one. And we won't have to wait too much longer because as we scan through these lovely shots, we'll get there eventually. That's the last one. Cthulhu Crossbow, which is my new rap name now, clearly. Yes, exclusively drops on March 19th at 10 a.m. Eastern, Walmart Collecticon. That was a few days ago now, so obviously that timer is a bit wrong. It's probably about 12 days now, or maybe less than that. But yeah, March 19th, 10 a.m. Eastern, Walmart Collecticon. It will go up on Pulse in small quantities, as we all expect and know. Excuse me. So that is that. Is that everything? Or we've got more to talk about. Oh, well, no, we have come to the end of the news segment. We're into the leak listings section now. So if you weren't present during the week for my News Burst live, then I have updated the Walmart exclusives listings to include that 250th anniversary Duke listing, which was relocated from the Fanmazon fan channel Pulse NYCC exclusives list. It was just in there because we didn't know what it was. We just knew what it was. We didn't know what format it was and all that kind of stuff, but now we do. So boop, up it goes into that section. And what else was I going to say? That's it. I think everything else is as you were. So hopefully the few more greens this month. I could see obviously Night Creeper's going up. Then also Zanya and the Chameleon popped up as well in that UK Pulse slip up. So it means most likely that they're preparing that particular figure for the pre-order kind of listing situation. So I imagine Zanya going up this month as well. So keep an eye out for any sort of like G.I. Joe fan stream, or even just like keep an eye out for a pre-order or a social post or something, because I have a feeling that we're going to see this month, we'll probably see Zanya with Taurus and Red Dog showing up, courtesy of our good friend Adam at his Shark-Eyed Toy View. We're probably not too far away from that either. So that could probably be this month or next. Prof Rocklaw and the Dinosaur, the Deinonychus, again, very likely this month or next. And the Special Forces as well. Same deal with that. Everything else, I believe, is later on, including the ATV and Stealth Pod, aka the Varmint and the Stealth Pod. That will be going later, obviously. Right then, that is that for the leak listings. Name only reveals so far: Iceberg, Deep Six, and Chabang. White says, any word yet on a potential fan stream event? Would like some digital renders and name reveals. Like I said, would probably expect one, soon. I would expect a little cheeky pre-recorded situation, maybe for some pre-orders, because like I said, BMAC did mention that those figures were all expected before Yojo June, and then Stealth Pod and the Varmint 2-pack would be sort of a Yojo June situation. But that's Iceberg, Deep Six, and Chabang are the name only reveals currently. No new ones as yet. And digital renders and revealed figures has been kind of updated visually a little bit. So we've got your Special Forces Legacy figure, Red Dog and Taurus, and then we've got the Arctic 3-pack and the Snake Eyes versus Stealth Pod 2-pack. We've got Zanya Chameleon, we've got Prof Rocklaw and the Deinonychus, and we've got the Night Creeper Dire. Which, yeah, so I think we can expect some fun stuff this month, and some cool figures to order and get stuck into. There you go. And also, I've updated the teasers and leaks, but first of all, I've called it teasers and leaks now. And we've got the Deep Six teaser, and we've got the Duke 250th anniversary leak as well. So there you go, updated to more fun visuals for you guys to enjoy. Right then, that is everything in the news. Let's move on to shout outs. We've still got a little bit of stuff to get into, but let's do it. Yes, as we've mentioned already before in the episode when the commercial aired, but Battle Action Forces Deluxe Treasury Editions are available from TotalToyBooks.com in the UK and Europe, Skeletron.com in the US, and Amazon in the rest of the universe. Go get them. They're amazing, gorgeous volumes of phenomenal stuff. I can't talk. Anyway, it's great. You'll love them. Also, in relation to that, Kickstarter currently happening right this second. My Palatoy Story, the extended edition. And not only is the Kickstarter currently ongoing, but there have been some very cool and awesome updates that have been posted quite a lot recently. We've got these lovely shots of Bob Breakin, shout out to Bob, obviously the designer behind the Robo Skull and many other amazing things. And here he is at Toy Fair back in, I don't know, I literally don't know the date of this one. I wonder if it was on the actual post. You'd hope so, wouldn't you? Maybe it was. Maybe I just have to search for it until I find it. In any case, yes, it is live right this second. Link in the description as well, for getting in and pledging. The man at the heart of it all, Bob Breakin, as chief designer from 67 to 84. My goodness. Bob didn't just witness history, he sculpted it, literally. Action Man's gripping hand was modelled on Bob's own. Now, to celebrate the 60th anniversary of Action Man, we are bringing his award-winning My Palatoy story back in a massive expanded edition. 32 added pages of rare archival material, focusing on the final lost days of 1984. See the prototypes for the Wolf Pack vehicles. Should we have a look at those as well? So here's Bob at his desk, drawing amazing and cool stuff, which is beautiful. Look at that. Even back then, that is a dope desk and job that he's got right there. Seriously. Here he is a little bit later in the years. Hello, Bob. Getting attacked by a tank, which is brilliant. And here he is at another toy fair back in the Action Man days. This would have been in what, the 60s or 70s, probably. Wow, lovely, amazing shot. Here's another shot. This is not of Bob though, but this is I can't remember who this is now. I don't think it says in the post either, but really cool shot here of, again, some amazing behind the scenes and some really cool looking vehicles and what have you. Love this. The Wolf Pack, which is what we mentioned earlier, is this sort of like unreleased kind of like final year of sort of Palatoy. And this is, some of these things are so cool. I mean, how is this not in existence, guys? This needs to happen for me. And we're talking 12-inch figures here, by the way. So this is a big vehicle. This is like before HasLabs for 6-inch figures right here. Here's another cool shot of the figures, of the Wolf Pack figures with the this really cool little vehicle. Here's another, it's like a slugger. This is like the slugger. I love this, man. This is so cool. And this is another beauty as well. This Jeep is so cool. So yeah, Wolf Pack, very nice. And you could kind of tie this Wolf Pack in with Wolf Squad, which was done in, like, you know, the 50th anniversary of well, not 50th anniversary, the 50th anniversary of G.I. Joe, with those kind of like 4-inch, you know, that 4-inch range that incorporated Wolf Squad into Hit and Run, and then what, the Sky Striker. Anyway, pretty cool. Love this. And shout out to Bob and of course Brian for doing an amazing job on this new Kickstarter for the expanded edition of My Palatoy story. Like I said, link in the description, in this description right now. Go pledge. It's over halfway now, I believe, and we've got plenty of time to go, so let's get it done, people. Right then, shout out as well to Articulator Points, to Pat, to Phil. Massive shout out to them lads. Pat is going to be on an episode soon. We're recording next week. It's myself, Pat, and Adam. We're going to be doing an O-ring special in general. So obviously the episode I've done with Mark for Talking Joe is going to be specifically about the Super 7 Reaction Plus Collector series, whereas Adam and Pat, we're going to be talking O-rings in general, and that's going to be a fun one to do. I can't wait for that. Then their latest episode on Street Fighter is kind of like an additional Street Fighter episode, a part 2, is brilliant. Go check it out, and a very cool little reveal in there as well, for those that love the historical aspect of this particular hobby. Link in the description for Articulator Points as well. Shout out to codenameiowa.com. We've got some cool stuff in process with the wonderful people at Codename Iowa, Brian Sauer as well, of course. Massive shout out to everyone involved. And yeah, we're going to be doing some more cool stuff with Codename Iowa very soon. And also they are too with AR. They are with AR. They've started posting little sneaky updates as to what the next AR is going to be all about. So it's on the 13th and 14th of November. They're getting the information out early, of course, for people that want to kind of like, you know, get all their travel and their all their situations set up. The hotel block isn't ready yet. Obviously, that will be later in the year. But as soon as we get that information, we will let you know. But it looks like it's going to be space related, which is amazing. So Star Brigade, Space Force, all that kind of good stuff. There you go. Des Moines, Iowa, November 13th and 14th, starting the AR promo right now. My aim is to definitely try and make it to this particular event because I love AR. And if I have to do one, if I can do one a year, it's this one always. So yeah, there you go. There was never an Akuma figure 6-pack. Correct. But watch that video because it's absolutely brilliant. You'll love it. And of course, Skeletron have been posting updates as well. So a bit further along now with their 6-inch Skeletron figure. They're still expecting a Q3, I want to say, of 2026 delivery date on this. Let me just get the details because I completely forgot. Yeah, Q3 delivery for the Skeletron figure. And I love that Skeletron figure, by the way. It looks amazing. What a cool update for 6-inch. He's going to look so good in the whole like classified setup. And of course, Q3 as well for the Total Roboskull hardcover book, which has now been up to 112 pages. So, you know, that's one of the reasons why the book is kind of like trailing a little bit, is because they've increased the actual, like, you know, the contents of this particular book. And on top of that, I think they wanted to deliver everything first. Hi, Annie, are you back? Annie's come back to say bye, I think. Have you got the zoomies? I think you have. That's all the running around you can hear, guys. Is Annie's so excited? Her little tail is going absolutely 1,000 miles an hour right now.
She's been doing her homework.
Oh, she's been doing homework, has she? That's awesome. Good girl. She goes to Doggy University every Friday now. So yeah, good girl. You want to go back upstairs? Are you coming over? Yeah, she's gonna. It's cool. You've seen her today. She's had her time in the spotlight, haven't you, darling? Yeah. Okay. Cool. Anyway, so yeah, the book will be following suit Q3 of 2026. Again, super excited for that. Now, if you missed it or didn't if you missed it or didn't get a chance to see my interview with Scott Johnson, please go and check it out. It's an absolute beauty. Scott's an absolutely superb, talented, amazing artist on the classified series. He's done so many figures, including all of blooming these. Honey, I want to say you did Lifeline. Where's Lifeline? Lifeline. So obviously, you know, go check that out. He goes into a lot of history about how he got into the business and all that kind of stuff, but also talks about the work he's done on the classified series. It's really cool. Go check him out. That's on our YouTube channel right this second. Also, did a movie update, movie news episode with Justin Bell as well. So go check that out as well on our channel. And yeah, that was also a lot of fun chatting with Justin. We've actually got another burst series in the works. I'm just going to say it because it's no point. It's not, I don't know when I need to reveal anything, but yeah, we're working on doing an animated series related news burst in the way that we do comics, movie, regular news, etc., etc. We're going to be doing cartoon bursts. Okay, so with the animated series just around the corner, we thought a cartoon burst would be a fun one to do, and that will be myself and Justin Bell as well. So yeah, that's what we're planning. Look what I'm planning. So go, yeah, you just have to wait and see how that all kind of turns out. But yeah, go check out these episodes on our channel, please and thank you. And of course, just a shout out to Mark, we are doing a Talking Force crossover regarding, and I've mentioned it already before today, regarding the Super 7 Reaction Plus collector series, as you can see there. So that is just around the corner. Okay, just around the corner, and that was a lot of fun doing that with Mark. So Kitty said, that's it then. That's it for the weekly. Thank you so much for joining me on this very fun and exciting week of G.I. Joe news and what have you. More again next week, I imagine. I'm really, fingers crossed, for higher news. I get like, I want more higher reveals, even though it does annoy me that I have to change the graphics all the time. Yeah, maybe they've stopped revealing because the graphic is perfect at the moment. I don't know. In any case, we'll be right back at it next week. And if there's no news to talk about, I'm not going to make anything up, obviously, but we can just have a discussion in general. It's probably longer, and they usually go longer when we do that. Anyway, thank you so much for all the chat in the comments, guys. Have a wonderful rest of your weekend. If you're a Patreon member on the Red Shadow Army or Full Force SAS, I will see you tomorrow for the Q&A. And that is all. Yeah, I think that's everything. I think I've talked to death today. Have a wonderful rest of your weekend, guys. Stay fresh, cheese bags. And as always, after 3, you know what to do. 1, 2, 3. Full force. Later. Make sure you get involved with the discussion by liking, sharing and commenting on these videos. And as always, you can keep up with the show after listening by following on all of our social platforms, links in the description. And if you would like to contact the show, you can message us on any of those platforms with feedback or questions. We also have a Patreon page, so if you want to show your support for the show, see your name up in lights on these videos, or enjoy exclusive bonus content, then check out patreon.com/The Full Force Podcast, or click the link on any of the posts this podcast appears in. Full Force.